Hello, my fellow Fall of the Samurai players, Zaript here, with a third game between Aggony Duck and CW Myth in semi-finals of Aggony 1v1 Championship 2012. And we are having new map here, it's a slumbering settlement for next two games. And of course, if you for some reason didn't watch this on Prussian Prince channel or didn't watch it live when it was streamed, you can go to Prussian Prince channel and watch a recording of live stream, which was commented by him and by me together, of course. And well, here I'm trying to get a little bit deeper in the game in my commentaries so far. And the thing is, I don't have much time and I'm a little bit sick, which is why it might be a little bit rushed. But yeah. I still have things to say that we didn't say in a live cast. Now, Ducky have a line spam, but when I looked over it, when I paused it, when I looked over stats of the units, it kind of struck me how balanced his positioning is, deployment. I mean, I already told it before. One of the most important things with the line heavy builds is organization of your army, because you have so many lines that you cannot easily click and use them on a map. They intersect with each other. You may choose your shogunate infantry, which months look exactly like red bears, and you can kind of mismicro it easily. So you have to use your cards. You have to reorganize them, and you don't really know how do I put my forces effectively. Now, there is different ways to do that, and I think in this game, Duck shows one of canonical examples, I should say, etalon examples. Of course, he starts with a strong front, which is Royal Marines, United States Marines, and Shogunate Infantry with 150 range. Look how most of his forces lean to this side. Because he have a forest here, it's much easier for him to push here, because Myth will not have a forest cover here. At the same time, pushing here would be very difficult, and if Duck tries to push on this side, you see, this village is kinda on a Duck's side. So he a little bit zoned out away from this sword dodger if he goes here. And in this choke point, you don't really need many units. So this is the main area of interest, and Duck puts more units here because it's easier for him to push here and more difficult here, because I feel like I don't explain it well enough. I mean, if you push here, what, you can use 2 or 3 units, right? And how do you support them? You have to go all around here, and from here, in this choke point, your unit will be decimated. So this force and this force kind of coming together, they will be split by these 2 buildings. At the same time here, even so there is building in the middle, it's still only 1 building, not 2. And force coming here and here, it will be easier for them to get together. There is still this hill, but it actually plays for Duck's favor, because this hill separates Myth forces into contingent he have here and here will be separated. So, to be honest, I think the one who deploys on this side of a map actually have an advantage when using line, because for Myth, taking line heavy composition, he will have a difficulty solving this issue with this hill. How the hell do I put my line here and get support from this side if my opponent kind of pushes simultaneously and, for example, I win here? How do I help this force? He will have to commit inside. This is a huge issue with the line heavy builds, I assure you. Now, despite this strong front, which is kind of obvious thing, and it's kind of obvious why, well, it's not that obvious, but you can understand why Duck chose this part of map to push because it's easier. Now, this is a beautiful thing. Look at this. Two Shinsegumi police force in this forest and black tortoise force in this forest. Well, black tortoise force and red bear. Now, pause this for a second. First, listen up to my question. Why do Duck use Shinsegumi police force here and not here? Think about it for a little bit. Pause it. Because my answer is, and I think it really is the case. These Shinsegumi police force have high morale, and they can do just well without support. They have to operate separately from main body, so you really need units that good at flanking. And I always told that, in my opinion, Shinsegumi police force good at flanking because it has high morale, it has decent melee, and it really will not route that easy. But we will see what happens in this game. It's still interesting. Now here, this cheaper line. Here Duck doesn't need strong line just because he have morale aura from United States Marines. And at any point of time, these black tortoise forces would get support. 150 range support. Red bees coming from behind. So near these strong units, you really can have a lot of cheaper units with lower morale. Well, that's an obvious thing. So overall, Duck have 4 red bears. His general bodyguard and his avatar is Bushido Gen with gun enabled. He have 3 150 range units, 2 of them Marines, 1 Shogunate infantry, 2 black tortoise forces, 3 spear levies, different places, and 2 Shinsegumi police force here. Now, last thing I want to talk about is these 2 red bears. Look how they positioned. Let's forget about that one. This for now. And this is interesting. It meant to be a supporter for these units and for this at the same time. But Duck didn't put it too close to this forest to not raise suspicion of Myth. That's that's all speculation. I didn't talk with Duck about this game. Maybe he will comment on that. The thing is, Myth does not, looking at this, Myth will not be able to easily count how expensive this army is. So he does not know if there is some units in this forest or this forest. But if Duck put red bears here, it may raise suspicion that he's trying to support these units. So Duck makes it look like he's completely concentrate his force here. That's what it looks like. Just imagine yourself on a Myth spot, and I will hide these 2 units. Just imagine. How would you kind of see this army from his, if you were him? So, small touch, but very interesting. Other thing is, you see at the distance here. Now, it may look like, well, why not deploy all units closer to the main line? Because, well, they will have a less area to cover, less distance to walk, right? Not really. The reason you may want to maintain such a big distance, if you want this unit to support a lot of different units at the same time. Now, imagine Duck wants to support this unit Marines with this red bears or this Shogunate infantry. He can give a move order, they will go, they will stop like this or like this and shoot, right? But what happened if these red bears were here? They will turn, they will mess with this black tortoise force, and if this black tortoise force does not have shooting order because of messing up with this, intersecting with these red bears, they will stop shooting. And these red bears may potentially stop these units from shooting until while they move. Of course, it will only happen if this black tortoise force shooting on their own without attack order. But that happens quite a lot on line heavy battles. So, as you can see, even in such a seemingly simple thing, idea as a line spam, there is so much small adjustments you can do. How do you position your support unit? What do you choose as a flanking contingent? When you can cut on morale. I mean, some people may even pick this Shinsegumi Police Force and try to use it here. It will be ineffective because this Black Tortoise Force already got, you see, with one upgrade, it already got better shooting stats. But it's so much cheaper. So it's kind of course, you can organize it in different way, but this positioning on this map looks so balanced to me. And now we are going to see how it will perform in action. And actually, an interesting touch, I don't know how it was affected by a group stage, but I can't help but wonder. In a group I played, there were so many line spams on this map. I mean, Green Star used it in every game. Prussian Prince used it against me, and it was very effective. It was like super effective. But the feeling I got from those games is you don't really need 3 150s here. I believe this is just going overboard. 2 will be just enough. But we will see, we will see. Now, for me, we have Bushido Jian with gun enabled. 4 Yariki level 6. Shogunate Guard Cavalry level 2 hidden somewhere, and Imperial Guard Cavalry Vanilla hidden somewhere. Well, there they are. Now, Red Bears, Imperial Infantry 150 range, Black Tortoise Force, Red Bears, and United States Marines. So, MIF going for quite a strong cavalry. And here we have a Shrine, Sword Dojo, and Archery Dojo on this side. And one more thing I wanted to talk about. I think we should keep track on effectiveness of this 150s, because usually I tell that 150 range units are better to be used on the open, because when you shoot from forest to forest, quite a lot of bullets get stuck in the trees. So using an expensive unit in such conditions might be ineffective, because you may kill much more on the open, and because of range advantage you will decimate units, your opponent unit faster. On the other hand, in forest you will kinda get a survivability boost. But we will see. And here, oh man, I love this. I hope I didn't check it with Myth. I hope he is doing this deliberately. Look at this. He still doesn't see the Shinsegumi Police Force, but look at route his Yariki takes. See this small reach. It protects this Yariki from Shinsegumi Police Force of Duck, and it still allows Myth to notice them. This is so cool. I mean, if you play on this map, always use this route to scout. Never run your cavalry through the middle of the forest, okay? This is how you should scout. And I hope it was deliberate, because it would be very cool. Because Duck always uses these small terrain advantages of the maps. And now we know one more terrain trick. And now clear charge coming. Usually you can't charge in the forest effectively, but you see this time trees did not really stop this hierarchy, and they are getting 24 kills already and lose nothing. Now I will ignore the faraway flank for now. Some shooting going on there, but what is more important is what's happening here. Now attack order for this Shinsegumi Police Force, and they shoot. No, they will not shoot because they charged from the back. And you see cycle charging, hop, 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 like ping pong. And now the Shinsegumi Police Force get charged from by this Yariki. 28 kills for free. This one, 78 kills for 27 man. Well, it lost some, but still look at this micro cycle charging. That's what you want to do with your cavalry. At the same time, look how nicely, and I will stop this. This Imperial Guard cavalry were shooting at this spear levy a little bit, but now that's what I told about this supporting unit. Duck moves this red bears to help two of his Shinsengumi police force, and as a flanking force that can deal on its own, this Shinsengumi police force failed. So as you can see, if played right, two Yariki with level 6 can destroy two vanilla Shinsengumi police force easily. But take a look at conditions. It's kind of happened before. It was in a forest, and Duck really didn't prepare for this charge. Really, no shooting were going on. Just charge over the ridge. So Duck misjudged terrain on this time. And here, Mif does a mistake. Usually, you want to continue pushing your advantage, right? He got a clear advantage here. He got 2 units. But if you look at it, there is situation when you don't want to do that. First of all, this red bears ready for shooting, and they're shooting. Second, Mif leaves this Yariki to finish two Shinsengumi police forces. So he basically charging with 1 unit instead of 2. He's trying to use this Imperial Guard cavalry to charge from the back, but the main point is there is no support. And I mean, this isn't 2 full units already. They are already depleted. This have 50 men lost. This one have 27 men lost. This one have 11 men lost. These red bears will not rout that easily. Especially because this unit does not have a charge, good charge. Now let's take a look. Look how many losses. So when this unit charges, it's actually only 37 men in this unit. Now this Imperial Guard cavalry getting, and now you see Duck is prepared. He is turning around his Shogunate infantry 150 range, moving his spear levies closer to protect his general. And you see, let's take a look at the hours. No hours doesn't help. These red bears will not rout as easily as this Shinsengumi police force, just because they didn't get such a huge blow from the back by this Imperial Guard cavalry. So this is clear mistake on the Mif part. I mean, from what seemed like a very cost-effective engagement, he decided to push further, and now it's suddenly becoming very even exchange. I mean, two Shinsengumi police force, it's one. 800, right? It's only 800 Koku. But this Yariki and this Imperial Guard cavalry, it's like 2100 Koku. So, and he lost them. Of course, he killed 50 men in red bears. He killed 7 men in bodyguard. He killed half of the spear levy unit. But overall, it got even. I mean, just imagine getting 2 Shinsengumi police force for free. Get them, disengage, you're good. But Mif decided to continue without support. And he got this Shogunate Guard cavalry, which it would look so good here. But now, interesting part on that side of the map finished. And here Duck microing that engagement. He actually mismicros his United States Marines. Got shot, and let's look at this. Got shot from the forest. And look, while they're shuffling, these red bears get first volley when getting in. Nice play by Mif. I don't know if he noticed shuffling or not, but he moved the red bears in just in time. So, fight started. What do we have? 150 range Imperial Infantry winning a little bit. Black Tortoise Force pushing these Royal Marines. Not a good idea, of course. And now this 150 range Shogunate Infantry pushing these red bears without unstopped. So, Mif cannot really do anything on that flank right now. And let me stop this. I want to take a look at directions. First of all, even despite fight going on, despite all that, look, Duck didn't forget to micro his spear levies and get the shrine. I mean, this is cool. I mean, usually people do it when fight kind of stops, when they have brief moment, but Duck didn't forget about it. Moving Red Beast. So this flank, for me, will collapse eventually. So the deciding flank, well, the only way Myth can actually win is to win this flank, in my opinion. Maybe there is some miracles can be achieved on the other side, but here he got unneeded damage on his Yariki just because he didn't flank wide enough. I mean, a lot of people get not lazy, but try to be too fast with their orders, so he didn't take a safe route and got one volley from this Red Beast. So still managing his Yariki. Yeah, Duck tries to get this Red Beast. Are they in range? Yeah, they are. They should starting shooting. So not a perfect engagement, I should say. Just imagine Duck going a little bit farther, right? Going into this Red Beast. And now here, oh man, so many unneeded losses. I really think, I mean, just, can you explain me? When you have two Yariki and the opponent have no cavalry, why would not you go with them around? Send both of them around. I mean, why not? And why not do it much earlier? I mean, Duck does not have cavalry at all, so Myth could have sneaked these two cavalry units here from the very beginning. So from the very beginning, they could have threatened these units. Of course, Duck would turn his Red Beast around. That's a problem. But overall, I think this frontal charge wasn't necessary. Now, this Yariki that destroyed the Shinsegumi police force, look, nice. They are not trying to do anything here on this flank. They are going completely around to join this fight. I like this. This is a very nice play. And here, another mistake, I guess, getting this unneeded shots on this Shogunate Guard cavalry. Well, now it's going pretty bad for me. This Yariki wasted. I mean, he got Red Beasts, but they will come back from routing. It's not cost effective at all. Well, he stopped these United States Marines from shooting. That's good. But another small touch, which I can understand, but seems like a mistake. Myth sends his Red Beasts from this flank to help this Imperial Infantry survive. These Royal Marines, he charged them with bodyguard and sent the Red Beast to help. Now what happens? Myth cannot finish this flank fast enough. This seems like a needed, like he was forced to do that. But in the end, look at this. These Royal Marines, they will rout faster than this Red Beast will get any volleys. So in the end, it was unneeded. Look at this. Bushido Gen and 60 men in Imperial Infantry can kill 70 men Royal Marines by themselves. And now, just imagine this Red Beast here. This Black Tortoise force would be destroyed so much faster. But now, really, I believe it's over. Why? Because Duck has line-heavy composition that is spread around. Myth have much less line, and he still spread around. He cannot concentrate on any part of Duck army and destroy it. He cannot consolidate his forces anymore. And more importantly, Duck got Shrine. And it's very important considering how badly Duck played with his Marines. He really played very bad with them. He lost 2 Marines. We will see on final stats, they weren't effective at all. He played too aggressively with them. He didn't use his Black Tortoise forces as mid-shield as you would want to. He didn't use his Spear Levies as a mid-shield. But this Shrine can really... without this shrine, I think Mif had some chances. But now, this... let's look. Red Bears have 8 morale. Black Tortoise Force have... oh man, it's not showing. Oh, he still didn't get the shrine? I don't know what's happening. Okay, now he got the shrine. Let's take at morale. Okay, 11 morale. And 11 here. Where Black Tortoise Forces? Okay, they all routed. But finally, Mif actually made this Yariki do well. Destroying this Shinsengumi Police Force, getting back here, they killed the general. This is the hero Yariki unit. 212 kills, and the general. Now Mif does... I mean, you got this small advantage again, and look what he's doing. Charging right through the middle with his general. Awful angle for a charge. I mean, even if you do it through the forest, especially if you do it through the forest, it slows you down so much, so he's losing his general for nothing. And of course, on that flank, it's all over. And here, well, interestingly enough, these United States Marines already 350 men killed. Very good. So they still do good in a forest, but just because they survive longer. But I believe they kill much slower. Let's take a look actually. 72 men in this Red Bear infantry unit. Let's see how they move closer. I want to see one volley effect. Okay, let's see. 72 men here. This Red Bears move in. 76. 70. So he killed 6 men in one volley. That doesn't seem much for me actually. So 7 men. It's like one bullet of 10 got into the target. It's like 10% effectiveness, but well, it's over. Interesting game. No questions here. Of course, Mif misjudged the situation on this flank, and it was huge mistake. And yeah, this was pretty huge because not just because he because it was. I will stop this, okay? It was huge mistake not because of equal cost effectiveness, but because losing cavalry really were most capable unit on a Mif spot. I mean, these Red Bears of Mif, they are the unit you want to throw away. But cavalry, no, you don't. And basically what happened when he exchanged here, this flank was free for Duck to push. I mean, these cavalry were the only thing that could have stopped Duck here in Mif's composition. And imagine destroying these two Shinsengumi police force, retreating and just threatening. It would have been so much better. For Duck, misusing his marines, playing too aggressively with them, certainly is a letdown. Let's see the final stats and how they did. So overall, despite Duck having a, I believe, almost perfect deployment, in the end he didn't use his units that well in this game. But of course, he used his opponent's mistakes super good. I mean, moving that Red Bears to help Shinsengumi police force, Mif could have easily run away, but Duck still moved, and he won that bet. So, 1,000 men difference in deployed, and only 400 men different in losses. Mif killed more, but it was not enough, especially considering the shrine on the Duck side in the end. Okay, and kills for Duck. You see? Royal Marines. Barely got effective. United States Marines. Ineffective. I mean, Red Bears did better. But that's the nature of line heavy build. Even if your Marines do bad, but your Red Bears do good. I mean, it's still okay. You have so many of them. Two Shinsengumi Police Force. Well, now we know that they cannot survive 2 cavalry units if cavalry played right. This is important piece of information. Against weaker cavalry, in a better formation, not on the move, not with that reach, not in the forest. Well, no, yeah, in the forest. They might do good, I believe, but still, this is important to know. They cannot deal with cavalry. Now for me, 405 men killed on these United States Marines. Beautiful, beautiful. Hero Yariki. Imperial Infantry 150 range, barely effective. Yariki, barely effective. And all other units, ineffective. None of these units paid for itself. This is complete loss for, I mean, awful. Awful. Well, cavalry is difficult to play. Who would have known? Okay then, let's hop into the next game. See you guys.